What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the second Academy video. Basically, in this video, we're going to be covering what is an option and how options work. That there are three trading styles as well, and I'm going to cover each one. So there's a difference between options trading and then just buying shares, equity of a company, right? When you're buying a share, when you're buying equity, basically it's like if I'm buying Apple. Remember I told you guys, if Apple's at 270 and I want to own that company without having to worry about time, like I just want to be a long-term investor, then you buy a share. And when Apple goes from 270 to 300, you make $30, right? Unless you have multiple shares, right? Then you'll make 30 times however many shares you have. Now, for the option side, it's going to be a bit different. Okay, for options, it is basically, if I read you guys the Google definition, you guys would be like, what the heck is an option, right? But I'm gonna give you guys I'll read the Google definition to you guys, and then I'll give you guys my definition. Okay, so the Google definition says options trading is a trading of instruments that give you the right to buy or sell a specific security on a specific day at a specific price. An option is a contract that's linked to an underlying asset, a stock, or another security. Now, if I were to just tell that to somebody, you probably still wouldn't understand what an option is. So, in my own words, I'm going to simplify it a lot simpler than that definition right there. An option, guys, basically, in simpler terms, is like giving you access to 100 shares at a much cheaper price. I'm gonna get into more detail because I know that still may not make sense to you guys. For example, I told you guys if you guys want to buy one share of Apple, it costs 270, right? If you want to buy 100, how much would that cost you? A hundred times 270 was like 27,000. Not everyone has $27,000 to invest into 100 shares. So therefore, the options gives you access to 100 shares at a much cheaper price. Now, the thing with options is that you don't own the shares. It is a contract that has an expiration date. Every options contract has a strike price and an expiration date. In that contract with the strike price, it is basically like saying, hey, I think Apple is going to 280 by June 1st, let's say, right? It's like you're choosing an expiration date of when you think it's going to that price. And there's two types of options. There's a call option and there is a put option. If I think it is going up, then I am going to buy a call option. If I think it is going down, I am going to buy a put option, right? I'm going to slow down because I'm pretty sure if you're completely new, I'm probably still losing a lot of you guys. Okay. Remember, it is basically giving you 100 shares at a much cheaper price, but you do not own them. You have an expiration date for it to get to your strike price. It is like a contract, basically. It is an option contract that says, hey, I think Apple is going to 280 by June. And if it does, if it does, and basically, I'm giving you a cheaper price for that contract. That's basically what the option is. Time, keyword time. You guys are going to hear me say the word time like 1,000 times in the next few lessons because when it comes to options, time is either against you or your friend. The more time you have, the safer you are. You guys will understand that a little bit more when we get into the options Greeks. But for example, okay, like I said, you have a call option and you have a put option. Calls is up, puts is down. There are three types of trading styles. Before I get into this, though, I want to make sure everyone understands what an option is. It is basically you get 100 shares at a much cheaper price. Instead of you paying 27,000, maybe you paid 270, right? But you did not get you don't own the shares. They're not yours for long term. You have a specific amount of time for it to get to your strike price. For example, if I think Apple's going to 280 by June, I wanted to get close to 280. Does it have to hit 280 exactly? No. Do I have to wait till June to close that contract? No, I always get those questions. You can always sell the contract before your expiration date, and you want to. You don't want it to get close to your expiration date. Okay, so those are some questions I frequently get. Do I have to wait till June? No, because what if Apple goes from 270 to 280 tomorrow? I'm gonna take profit. I could get out whenever I want. If it gets there today, guess what? I'm taking profit today, but I'm just giving myself time for it to get there. And it's like instead of me spending 27,000 on 100 shares, I basically use the option to get access to those 100 shares at a cheap price, I'm just giving myself time for it to go up. So it's like kind of getting access. It's like you're getting leverage. You're getting access to something that you probably wouldn't be able to buy if you don't have 27,000 for a much cheaper price and making a profit on that contract. And how you lose money is if it doesn't go that direction in that specific amount of time, then you start losing money on your options contract. So in simple terms, that is what options is. There are three trading styles. I do all three. Scalping is when you're in and out of a trade in like 5 to 10 minutes. You're in, you're out quick. Day trading is when you're holding it throughout the day. So a couple of hours, right? Maybe I bought something at 6:30 in the morning when the stock market opened, and I sold it before 1 p.m. when the stock market closes, Pacific Standard Time, right? If I sold it in the same day, that is a day trade. A swing trade is when I hold it overnight for a couple of weeks. It could even be for a couple of months. When you're choosing your contract, you can choose strike prices that go out months out, right? Even years out. Those are called leaps. If you go a year or more, those are leap trades. And remember, the more time you have, the safer you are. So it's like instead of buying the dip with shares, you could buy the dip with options and make a lot more on it. So those are three those are three trading styles. I know I'm talking fast, but if you guys have any questions, just drop it in the description. This class is very straightforward. What are options? The three trading styles and cause inputs. So I'll see you guys in the next video. We're going to be talking about in the money, at the money, out the money, and then we're going to get into the options Greeks. Peace.